some members of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union have called for the removal of the Transport Minister, Joseph Boukari Nipe, accusing him of poor management of the transport sector in Accra and other major cities. According to them, while it is observing improvements in the performance of some other ministers, the Transport Minister has shown incompetence in effectively addressing the challenges confronting the sector. Transport conditions in Accra have worsened, according to them, leaving many commuters stranded during rush hours and forcing others to pay unapproved fares. Fatal Bayaga has more in the following report.
The transportation challenges here in Accra have now reached very alarming levels, with many commuters struggling every single day to get vehicles to travel to their various destinations, particularly in the morning and then in the evening. Some of the commuters say that some drivers are riding on this to charge unapproved fares, and this is taking a serious toll on their daily lives.
Very difficult, because coming from Ablekuma, already you don't get a car and you stay in traffic for like 2 hours. Then you get here on a normal day, there's a very long queue here. You stay in a queue for about 30 minutes at least before you get a car and you get to work. So roughly you spend about 3-4 hours before you get to work every day.
It's difficult for me that like the way I'm not getting car earlier to go, it have disturbed me so much, because if I went to the hospital, what I'm going to do, it will keep long before I'll come to the house. So it will delay me. So if they can do something about it, praise God.
Oh, I've been here about 30 minutes now, and we are waiting for a vehicle, but as at now, there's no vehicle here and we are stranded.
This current situation is really disturbing. We have to continuously deal with some drivers charging unapproved fares after every short distance, thereby draining our finances every day.
For some members of the GPRTU, particularly David Agbado, he says that the Transport Minister, Joseph Boukari Nipe, has proven to be incompetent in managing this transport crisis, and for that reason, he must be removed from office.
The government has to sit up and analyze the situation and let us all solve it amicably. But if I will say something right now, I will say the Minister of Transport is supposed not to be at post again.
You want the minister sacked?
That is what I'm saying.
The Transport Minister must go.
The Transport Minister must go. The reason why the Transport Minister must go is this. He is not performing. He is not performing in his ministry. Why am I saying this? When you go to Gold Board, the CEO over there is performing well. We are all giving him credit. When you go to finance sector, Honorable Setekpe is performing well. When you go to Atuforsen is performing well. When you go to Bank of Ghana, the governor over there is performing well. When you go to MPA, fuel was 17 cities, now 10 cities and 11 cities. Is it not performing well? So what is the Transport Minister doing at his office? What is he doing? Recently, when there was shortage in October, November and December, he said he's going to bring STC to come and curb down madness.
But he did.
He did. How many weeks? And how many days? Have you seen the STC in town now?
It was meant for just the festive season.
Meant for the festive season. Are the people in Ghana not going under the same stress today? And people in Ghana, are they not going under the same stress today in Ghana?
There was a directive that the buses will be released again.
The buses will be released again. I'm laughing because of the buses will be released again. You see, we shouldn't be artificial problem solvers, but rather we should solve problem once and for all.
He also noted that high cost of spare parts is affecting many of their members and therefore pushing them out of the transport business.
The problem is that about 45 to 50% of the vehicles are in shops because of the high cost of spare parts. Sprinter bus, you can see, Sprinter bus is what we use over here. A back castle of a Sprinter bus is now costing, recently it was 55,000. But as I'm speaking to you, it's 7,500 or 8,000. And you are saying you have reduced spare parts.
And for many commuters, for government to drastically address this particular situation, more buses must be deployed to the various routes in order to contain the current crisis. For JoyNews, Fatal Bayaga, Accra.
Well, let's explore this further here on the post. Join me now on phone is spokesperson for GPRTU, Abbas Imoro, and David Aguado, who claims to be the second deputy spokesperson of GPRTU. We appreciate your time, gentlemen. Let me start with David Aguado. When exactly did you become a member of GPRTU? Aguado, I'm told I don't have clear connection to him. Let me move now to Abbas Moro. You've listened to some of the concerns raised by David Aguado. I want you to clarify for me. Is David a member of GPRTU?
Yes, he was on concern and is now a GPRTU member. But my deputy is Samuel Amwa. I'm the PRO. My deputy for GPRTU.
So Abbas, let's get right into it. Why are you pushing for the transport minister to be relieved of duty?
We are not pushing for. We are not pushing for. It does not come from me, neither does that come from Samuel Amwa. So let's close that chapter.
So you're saying this is an independent call by David Aguado and not the stance of GPRTU?
He spoke for himself. I don't know. The one who interviewed him might have been in a very good position to say or answer this question. All I'm saying is I am the PRO for now. And Samuel Amwa is the deputy.
David Aguado claims to be the second deputy PRO for GPRTU. Can you confirm if that indeed is his designation?
You've asked the question, I've answered. I've said, I am the PRO, Samuel Amwa is the deputy.
So David is not part of your structure?
He spoke for himself. He did not speak for the GPRTU.
I want you to clarify. As we speak, David do not have any designation in GPRTU. He's only just a new member.
Madam, let's move ahead.
No, we want clarity because when our reporters went to the ground, he gave us a designation to work with. He described himself as the second deputy spokesperson of GPRTU. And so we want clarity as to where he stands in the scheme of things.
Do you about Samuel Amwa is the deputy. These are what for GPRTU for now.
So as GPRTU, are you pleased with the performance of the transport minister?
Oh, we've never spoken about the all that we were doing. We've never spoken about it.
Abbas, I'm struggling to hear you, and I'm sure my audience as well. If you could position rightly and speak up for me.
I say we've never spoken about the transport minister. We have had a lot from last year up to today. We have never spoken against the transport minister. Neither have I or has Amwa spoken against him. We've never.
So let's talk about the transport situation for which we actually started doing this story. The queue in the various stations appears to be longer every day. How are you addressing this as leadership?
Okay, this has been a normal yearly sickness. Every year during Christmas festive period, we experience serious traffic congestion and human traffic as well. This has been with us for so many years. Normally, we don't know where the vehicles come from. But during Christmas festive period, we experience a lot of traffic, both vehicular and human. And that caused a lot of passengers getting stranded because a vehicle which is supposed to leave Accra to La Paz and back, if it is to spend about 40, 50 minutes, to spend more than that period.
But
so
the festivities are over.
Will also be piling up. But when we come back in the new year, 2 weeks, 3 weeks period, the situation becomes normal. So we've most often been experiencing such a situation.
And that's why it's a concern, really, Abbas, because we're already 2 weeks into the new year, and the festivities are over. But the concern being raised by passengers is that the vehicles are not even coming to the stations in the first place. It's not even about the traffic situation. Some people allege that this is deliberate by the driver union to ensure they charge passengers more. How do you respond to that concern?
Yes, I said with the traffic situation, definitely there will be a passenger outcry because if we have imagined 20 vehicles at a particular pool running to a particular place, and each vehicle is supposed to spend about 40 minutes to 40 minutes back. With the traffic situation, that vehicle spend more than the estimated 40 minutes, indicating that there will be more passengers queuing for vehicles than it used to be. So that is a normal thing that we experience.
But there's another strand to the conversation, and the concern is that some drivers who are loading on the shoulders of the road, they are charging passengers more than the approved fares. How are your members dealing with this? The last time we had a conversation with Samuel Amma, I'm told that you have a task force that are looking into this.
We are aware of some of the drivers using of passengers being stranded to extort money. From each time we had this privilege, we've been condemning that. That's a very bad practice. We don't support it. I strongly believe with the meeting we had yesterday at our national secretariat, tomorrow meeting the transport ministry, we'll make sure that thing will be a thing of the past because there is a strategy or there is an antidote to that sickness, and we will make sure whatever we do to that thing to become a past issue, we'll do it because tomorrow we are meeting with the transport ministry. We'll present that grievances to them and we need their support, and from there we'll be able to make it a thing of the past. So let's hope God give all of us tomorrow, and we will make sure we deal with the situation.
Abbas, what time is your meeting tomorrow? And please speak up for me. What time is your meeting tomorrow, and what are your expectations as you go into that meeting?
9 a.m. in the morning, 9.
And what are your expectations?
Oh, that we have to sign off. I strongly believe with the question on hand, there are certain things I don't have to say because it will come from our leadership. So tomorrow when we meet, I strongly believe it will be a thing of the past.
But at least you have some top concerns that you'll be tabling before the minister. If you can walk us through at least 2 of them.
Oh, yes, of course. There are certain things that should be done which nobody cares. And perhaps we shall need the authorities also from the law enforcement agency to make sure the issues surrounding the road traffic regulation is being implemented, which will make sure all these things shall cease to come back again. So I'm pretty sure, God willing, tomorrow we shall solve this problem.
Masimoro is national spokesperson for GPRTU. Do I now have clear connection to David Aguado? Unfortunately, I do not have him, but that's the update you heard it here first, that indeed the road users may be receiving some relief because GPRTU would be meeting with the Transport Minister tomorrow. Joining us now also is the General Secretary of the Greater Accra Regional Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Ohini-Yeboah. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. We've just been hearing from different unions, and the concern that has been raised by commuters is a shortage of vehicles, especially when they go to the station to get to their various destinations. Based on your internal conversations you've had with the drivers, what is accounting for the shortage of vehicles?
Thank you very much, my sister. As my colleague has said, an issue,
Emmanuel, I can't hear you clearly. You may have to position rightly. Yes, please. If you can position rightly, and please speak up so that I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear now.
Good. Like I was saying, I agree with my colleague Abbas, who said earlier on that nobody intentionally would want to the situation and let for the public to suffer during their routine, their daily work. But the thing is that we have a issue on hand. Now, the city is getting bigger. You see, computers move from far and ahead to the city center. When you get to the center, you can see the odd path that will conveniently use. And you take it by two. So you get to the center and move out becomes a. So a route should have normally take you about 1 hour. That is the return will take you about. So we ask the passenger by their peak hours. So I think that is not great on our. But I think also that government also has that you have to play, and they are merging on this rule. You see, this Lolo bus at various terminals. You go to some of them are King. You go to a park there. Some are parked, or some are parked that much Amazon. If this bus utilized properly, I mean, it could at least the kind of in the traveling are going through. I heard you mention overcharge but particular route. If the bus are there, options are there.
Emmanuel, I'm struggling to hear you still. You may have to try again with your positioning, and we can try one more time just to hear you clearly, because I'm struggling to hear you. We keep losing you intermittently. I'm hoping you can reposition yourself, and let's try one more time with you just making that point again for us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, if you can maintain this position and this tone as well as the voice that you're using right now, it will help us so that we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was trying to be romantic, but
don't be romantic, please. Okay.
You see, like I was saying, the government has a responsibility to support the traveling public. In fact, the private operator doesn't have the capacity to move the whole city and the town within the few vehicles that we operate with. We largely operate with the smaller buses, the 15-seater and the 19-seater buses, which hardly carries a bigger number of passengers. So if we are supported to get even bigger buses, like the Alolo buses, the Metro Mass buses, we can move a lot of passengers at one go. But here's again, we don't have the capacity. And the government buses, the Alolo and the Metro Mass, especially the Metro Mass, they have lost focus. Therefore, the main focus was to move the metropolis around. And that's why they have that name. The buses are supposed to be a local-based operation. But now they've reneged on that, and they are doing a long-distance travel where they have the buses are already flooded. So I don't see why they continue to do that and tend to blame us. The ministry has to speak to it because these institutions come directly under the Ministry of Transport. so they can call them and redirect their focus so that this pressure will be off the public, the traveling public.
And what are your expectations? I'm sure you'll be going into that meeting with the transport minister tomorrow. What are your expectations in that meeting?
Well, I'll be there, but I can't say anything for now because the details of the meeting has not been discussed. Once we get to the meeting and the agenda is introduced, we'll know how to deal with it. But for now, I don't think I have much to say. We'll only go and listen to him and see what we can do.
But I'm sure you have expectations as a union. You may have concerns as well. So when you meet him, what are the top concerns you'll be tabling before him?
Our concerns?
Yeah.
Oh, really? We have concerns, but you see, it's not me. And because it's going to be a collective something, we all get there and maybe we'll put our heads together. And those that are key relevance to us, we'll put it across. And for now, we don't want to preempt whatever discussion we have at the meeting.
Okay, thank you so much. Emmanuel Hiniebwa is General Secretary of GRTCC. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. So wait.